Alright, what is up, my Form 4? Okay, I hope everybody is doing well. Okay, so apparently we are going to have our online lesson for another 4 weeks. Yay. Okay, so today we shall enter chapter 8. Okay, respiratory system in humans and animals. Alright, so I will finish this whole chapter in just this video. So it will be a bit long, but why do I decide to do so? Because number one, I heard your online classes, okay, by Wei Ling, it has already gone into chapter 9, and you have already learned this pretty much in the last year. Okay, respiratory system. All right, so let's jump into it. All right, so let's start with tracheal system. Okay, you have already learned this in Form 3. Okay, so tracheal system is in insects. Okay, so before I proceed, I wish to say that the bigger the organism, the better the respiratory system needs to be. Okay, of course, common sense. It's just like let's say you're running a KK Mart. Okay, you are running a small 7-Eleven. You don't need a transport system to carry things into your store. But if you run a factory like a Toyota factory, which is like how many football fields big, you need a transport system inside to carry supplies into your factory. I hope this makes sense. All right, so tracheal system is not as good as our lungs, but it's better than bacteria, which does simple diffusion. Okay, so it's not as good as ours. So this is in insect. Okay, so they don't use blood to carry oxygen. Okay, they straight away go into the cells, not like us humans. So you have spiracle. This is very important. I think you learned this already in Form 3. Spiracle is the hole. Okay, it's here. Okay, all insect spiracles are here. Okay, spiracles, and then you have trachea, similar to human, and instead of going into bronchus, they have tracheal. Okay, sort of like a small trachea, because we have bronchus and bronchial. So bronchial is small bronchus. So something like that. And then you have air sac. Okay, so air sac and muscle cell, this is where the gaseous exchange happens. Okay, so air sac is something like the alveolus. Okay, alveoli, whatever. Okay, so the spiracles are at the side there. All right, so the important part here is actually to memorize the adaptation. Okay, for amphibians, for humans, for insect, the important part is to memorize the structural adaptation. Okay, so number one, okay, it branches directly into body cells. Okay, so this is not so okay, whatever. Okay, so can be quickly transported to body cells. Okay, number two, this is very common sense. It has large number, because why? To provide large surface area. So this is similarly to our lungs. We have large number of alveolus to increase the total surface area. All right, number three, tracheal walls, they are thin, permeable, and moist. Okay, thin and moist. Actually, you can write this as two separate points. Okay, you learned this in Form 3 already. So and then number four, okay, large insects, especially those who are very active, like grasshopper, they have air sacs. Okay, and then trachea is strengthened with chitin rings. Okay, what is chitin? Chitin is the hard substance on the shell, on the exoskeleton of insects. Okay, when you eat prawns, okay, the shell, when you chew into it, that's the chitin. Okay, so to prevent the trachea from collapsing, we have we have bones. So for them, they don't have bones, they use chitin. Okay, so I think you have 3 adaptations here at least that you can write. Okay, you have that way you have already learned. Okay, large number, number 1. Okay, thin and moist. Okay, so at least you can write 3 there. Okay, so the breathing mechanism, okay, nothing much here. Spiracle, trachea, tracheal body cell. Okay, very simple compared to ours. Okay, so what happens in inhalation? Okay, so the abdominal muscle relax. Okay, it opens. Okay, so imagine when you're breathing in, you suck in air. Okay, so volume increase, pressure decrease. This goes hand in hand. Okay, so air enter. Okay, and then exhalation, it's the other way lah. Okay, so you just memorize the inhale, and then exhale is the other way. Okay, same goes to humans. So I'll talk about this a little bit. Okay, muscle contracts, volume decrease, pressure increase, air diffuse out. Okay, nothing much to talk about here. Okay, let's talk fish. Okay, let's talk fish. So they use gills. Okay, they use gills. it is almost as good as humans one. Okay, so but the difference is it works in water. Lung doesn't. Okay, so okay, let's talk about the structure of gills. You have really learned this in Form 3. I especially remember this. Okay, so you have the one big structure. Okay, this is like the big branch of a tree. Okay, this thing is called a gill arc. Okay, this is called a gill arc. Okay, and then the arc on branches you have leaves. So the leaves we call it lamella. Okay, lamella. So if you have seen a fish gill before, let's say your mom has opened up a fish at home, okay, before she cooks it. When you look at the gills, it's like their hair structure inside. The hair structure is the lamella. Okay, so it's like our alveolus. It is to increase surface area. Okay, that's why they have a lot of them. Okay, so the gill comb or the rachis, okay, this is also important. Filter out food grains, okay, not so important here. Okay, but the gill arc here is to hold the filament. So think of it as this is the branch, okay, and then the lamella is the leaves. Okay, so very simple. Okay, so oh yeah, you have filaments here. Okay, you have gill filaments. Okay, so filament is like a small gill arc. Okay, so gill arc, and then you have filament, and then the filament on top you have lamella. Okay, so I'll draw it out. Okay, this is a bit confusing. Okay, so you have the main branch. This is the gill arc, and then you have filament. Okay, and then you have lamella. Okay, so that way you can understand. All right, so it works this way. Okay, can you see the circle here? So the oxygenated blood will come here, and then it will come across with the water that flows through. Okay, so it's like a counter current flow. Very important point here. I think it's mentioned. Oh, it's not mentioned here. Okay, so you can write here, it's the counter current flow. Okay, if you must know. So why is it counter current? Because to make sure they cross each other, to increase the efficiency of gaseous exchange. Okay, you can write this as one of the adaptations. So counter current flow. Okay, so let's look at the adaptation. Okay, they have many gill filaments, they large surface area. Okay, thin, moist, network of capillaries. Okay, all these you have really learned. I think you even learned this in Form 2 already, which is in your villus. Okay, the one in your small intestine. Okay, so it's almost the same adaptation. So breathing mechanism. Okay, you have not learned this. Okay, this is something extra for you. Okay, but very important nonetheless. Okay, so you have inhalation and exhalation. Very simple here. So instead of using abdomen like insect just now, they're using their mouth. The mouth, we call it buccal cavity. Okay, is it mentioned? Yes, called buccal cavity. Okay, cavity means space lah. So mouth opens, floor lowered. So mouth opens, floor lowered, the volume here increase. Okay, so what is operculum? Operculum is this. Okay, this thing that moves. Okay, it covers the gills inside. We call this operculum. Okay, so cavity of operculum increase. Okay, not important. This one not important. The important is the operculum close. Okay, of course I need to close. If not, I will draw water in from here. I don't want. I want to draw water from in front, so I have to close here. Okay, so volume increase, pressure decrease, water flows in. Okay, so the exhalation is the other way. Mouth closed, floor raised. Okay, operculum opens. Okay, and then volume decrease, pressure increase. Okay, so gills flow through lamella and exit through the operculum. Okay, very common sense stuff. All right, let's look at amphibians. Okay, you have really learned this in Form 3 as well. Okay, so while on land, okay, they use lungs like us, and then in water they use skin. Okay, a lot of students will say, sir, isn't this very unfair? They have two, we have one. Okay, think of it this way. Our lung is like 100%. Okay, efficiency is very good, but for frogs, okay, or whatever amphibians, theirs are like 50-50. Okay, the skin is not as good as gills, maybe only 50%, and then their lungs is like 50%, not even 50% of us. So it's very fair. Okay, it's like they are half good at two things instead of us very good at something. Okay, so you see, they are not like us. We have millions of alveolus, they have only two bags there, which is like so small, it's not efficient at all. That's why you see frogs on land, they will not jump here and there. They are not active at all. They'll just sit there because their lungs cannot, if they were to be very active, their lungs cannot sustain the activity. Okay, so the lungs work like this. Okay, they have only a trachea, no bronchus, no bronchiole. Okay, they straight away go into the small regions in lungs wall. Okay, it's not even few rooms. Okay, and then you have the skin. Okay, the skin is straight away diffuse in and out into the blood vessels. Okay, that's why frogs supposedly to have very thin skin. Okay, because to decrease the distance so that what do you call it, diffusion can happen very easily. Okay, so instead of, okay, just now fish, the mouth is called buccal cavity, but here we call it buccal pharyngeal. Wow, long word, I know. Okay, it's called buccal pharyngeal. Okay, so let's look at the adaptation. Okay, so they are, all the adaptations are actually almost the same. Okay, can you see surface area, large surface area, thin, moist, blood capillary. Okay, so thin, moist, blood capillary. Okay, it applies for all. Of course, not for insects, because insects don't have blood capillary, but the thin and moist still applies. Large surface area still applies. Okay, so breathing mechanism. Okay, frog is a bit confusing. Normally, you have inhalation and exhalation. Frog has three. This is the weird one because they have to push air into the mouth and then they have to push air into the lungs. It's not like us straight away go into the lungs. They have to move into the mouth first and then move into the lungs. But when exhale is like one step. So two inhalation and one exhalation. Don't ask me why. Okay, this is a very funny nature of it. Okay, so these two are actually inhalation. Okay, and then you have exhalation. So what happens during the first step to absorb, to suck air into the mouth? Okay, so nostril open, nostril is this. Okay, okay, your lubang hidung. Okay, and then glottis closes. Okay, what is glottis? Glottis is this valve. Okay, glottis is this valve. It means the throat lah. Okay, so it closes here. So there's only one, because if this is open, I will draw air in from the lungs, which I don't want. Okay, I want to draw air from outside, not here. Okay, so nostril open, glottis closes. Okay, buccal pharyngeal floor lowers. Okay, here. Instead of buccal cavity floor, we call it buccal pharyngeal floor. Okay, so remember that. Okay, volume increase, pressure decrease, same thing. Air flows into mouth. Okay, so this is like fish one. Okay, you write fish here. Okay, a lot like a fish one. Okay, now the second one is a bit confusing. So now I want to push it into the lungs. So nostril closes. Okay, because I don't want to push air out. Okay, glottis opens. I want to push air into my lungs. Okay, so floor raise up. Okay, floor raise up to push air into the lungs. Okay, volume decrease, pressure increase. Okay, air flows into the lungs for gaseous exchange. Okay, so exhalation is very easy. It's also almost like the fish one. Glottis opens. Okay, muscle contract, lung contract, volume decrease, pressure increase, air forced out. Okay, through the nostril. Okay, so all very straightforward stuff lah. There's not much of tricky stuff here. There's no chemical reactions here. Okay, it's just all physical breathing mechanisms here. Okay, so let's look at humans. We have already learned this in Form 3. Okay, I think you studied your ass off because of this. Okay, I hope you do. Okay, if not, you'll be in bio, right? Okay, come on. So lung alveolus. Okay, so I don't think I need to go through a lot of this, but yeah, I will. Okay, so we have we start from, okay, the trachea. Okay, the important ones. Okay, nasal cavity is inside here. Okay, the one that you produce mucus. Okay, and then you have pharynx. Okay, pharynx is your throat lah. Okay, what is larynx? This is not important. Larynx is a voice box which gives you the voice. It helps you talk. Okay, so you have glottis too. Okay, your glottis is to separate esophagus and trachea. So it's a very smart system. You won't swallow food into your lungs. Okay, no such thing, because the muscle will control. Okay, and so you have your trachea. This is my first one, trachea, and then it goes into bronchus or bronchi is plural, bronchioles, and then alveoli. Okay, so let's jump straight into adaptation. Thin, large number or large surface area, moist, blood capillary. Again, the 4 same points. So these 4 can be used for all except for inside one we don't have, which is blood capillaries. Okay, just add air sac lah, okay, whatever. Okay, so breathing mechanism. Okay, you have already learned this. Okay, so okay, here's the thing. Intercostal muscle this time has 2, which is external and internal. Okay, think of it this way. So external is like outside. When it contracts, it will pull your ribs out. Okay, contracts, it will pull it out. Okay, the inner one, when it contracts, it will pull you in. Okay, it's like 2 strings. One is to pull you out. The external is to pull you outside. The internal is to pull you inside. Okay, I hope this makes sense. All right, so let's talk about inhalation first. Now you're inhaling. You need to pull your ribs out, so the external will contract. Okay, so the internal will relax. Okay, if you forget in your exam, whatever, at least write intercostal muscle. Okay, so rib move upward and upward. Remember, it's 2 motion, out and up. Okay, I think you have really learned this. All right, and then at the same time, diaphragm contracts. Okay, or you can say diaphragm flattens. Okay, it becomes flatter because I want to increase my volume. So volume increase, pressure decrease. Okay, air is forced into the lungs. Okay, so your lungs is very important to stay enclosed. Okay, if your lungs is punctured, this is a very dangerous situation. During accidents or whatever, if you puncture one of your lung, yeah, one of your lung will still work. Okay, but it will not be very efficient. You will feel out of breath. Okay, so rupture is a very dangerous thing. So next, exhalation. Okay, internal muscle contract. Now I want to pull in, that's why the internal will contract. Okay, so rib move inward and downward. Okay, the other way. Okay, and then diaphragm will relax, curve upward. So this causes volume to decrease, pressure increase. Air is forced out of the lung. Simple. So damn simple. Come on. Okay, so for all you lazy people out there, okay, this is the summary of everything. Okay, so similarities. Okay, all have large surface area, like I said just now. Okay, all have thin structure. They are all moist. Okay, they have blood capillary. Okay, of course, except inside. Okay, so I'll leave it up to you to read this. Okay, I will not want to repeat this thing. Okay, so we compare human and insect. Nothing much here. All right, so let's look at gaseous exchange in humans. I hope that I'm not going too fast because I really learned this. Okay, so gaseous exchange basically is to get oxygen and throw out carbon dioxide. Okay, so you have your artery, vein coming in and then artery going out. Okay, so when you learn this in your heart. Okay, so what is partial pressure of oxygen? Okay, very good question. Okay, let's say salt. Okay, we use concentration. Remember our hypo and hyper, we use concentration. For air, we don't use concentration. That is a very weird thing to say. We use partial pressure. Okay, so this is actually a thing in A levels. Okay, if you write concentration of oxygen, you will get wrong. Okay, so I'm not sure you remember the question, like when you go to high altitude, why do you get altitude sickness? If you write concentration of oxygen is low up there, you get wrong. But you need to write partial pressure of oxygen. Okay, A level is very particular about all these keywords. Okay, but I'm not sure whether concentration is correct here. Okay, don't take chance lah. Okay, just write partial pressure. Okay, so in alveolus is higher. It means there's more oxygen inside here because it's fresh air. I just inhale oxygen here. Okay, so oxygen will go from high concentration to low concentration. Okay, I'll just straight jump in. Okay, same goes to carbon dioxide. Okay, partial pressure of carbon dioxide is very high in the vein. Okay, in the capillary coming in. So I will jump into the alveolus. So it's like a two-way thing. Okay, they don't need active transfer. That's why simple diffusion can work because it's high to low, down concentration gradient. Remember, I've talked about this for a million times. Down concentration gradient. So both are going down concentration gradient, only opposite way. Okay, so between blood capillary and body cell, this is the other way. Now I go into my cell. My red blood cell has high oxygen. This has low oxygen, so you go here, down concentration gradient. Then my body cell has high carbon dioxide. Red blood cell has low carbon dioxide. it will go here. So like this. Okay, both also simple diffusion. Okay, so it's like a, that's why I call gaseous exchange. So it's exchange. Okay, so this part is very important. Okay, believe it or not, hemoglobin, I just write HB lah. Okay, hemoglobin is very good in carrying oxygen. Why? Because hemoglobin inside has iron. Okay, I write ferrum lah. Okay, I think you learned ferrum in chemistry. You write Fe. Okay, Fe loves oxygen. That's why iron rusts. Okay, that's why when you taste blood, it tastes irony. Okay, very irony. Okay, because of the iron. So iron loves oxygen, but iron doesn't love carbon dioxide that much. This is a problem. Why? Because okay, now let's say I get oxygen. Yay, 100%. But now after giving oxygen to body cell, I want to take the rubbish, which is carbon dioxide. Hemoglobin will be like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't want to carry this. I would only carry 23%. Okay. Oh, that's a problem. Then the other 77%, what am I supposed to do? Takkan this 77% stays in your body, you will die. Okay, so we have a special way to transport carbon dioxide. Okay, let's get the 7% out of the way. Okay, the 7% is by carbonic acid. Okay, carbonic acid. Okay, so very little amount. Why? Because carbonic acid is not very soluble in water, only 7%. That's why it's not very good. Blood is not very good in dissolving carbon dioxide. Okay, so the majority part, 70%, is carried by bicarbonate ion. This can dissolve very well in water because it's ion. Okay, ion has charge, water has charge, so they can become very good friends. But carbonic acid is not charged, so they don't really like each other. So that's why it's only 7%. HB, hemoglobin, also don't like carbon dioxide because iron doesn't like carbon dioxide. Iron wants to rust, so iron doesn't like carbon dioxide. Okay, so how is this bicarbonate ion formed? Okay, so water diffused into erythrocyte. Okay, erythrocyte is red blood cell. Okay, erythrocyte is the Changi way to say it. Okay, if you want to show off to your friend, oh, you want to say, you say erythrocyte. Okay, on your blood test report, it will just say RBC. Okay, in college, I just say RBC. All of us just say RBC. Even my lecturers say RBC because it's a simple way to refer. Okay, so diffused into erythrocyte, okay, reacts with water to form carbonic acid, okay, which is the 7%. Okay, like I said, the 7% doesn't mix very well. That's why some of it has to be catalyzed by an enzyme, which is called carbonic anhydrase. Okay, and I'm adding water into it. That's why I call it anhydrase. I want to hydrate the thing, so carbonic anhydrase. So, like I said, this is only 7% soluble in water. Okay, so now how do I convert it to 70% soluble? I break it into bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. Okay, so I break it into bicarbonate and hydrogen ion. Bicarbonate is basically like your baking soda. Baking soda is sodium hydrogen carbonate. Okay, NaHCO3. It dissolves very well in water. Okay, so now this is step 1 and this is step 2. Yay, we are done. Okay, now to exhale, when it reaches your lung, this will be reversed. So now I convert these two back into my carbonic acid. Carbonic acid, break it down back into carbon dioxide water, and then this thing is thrown out. Okay, so 70% of our carbon dioxide is carried by this way. Okay, because hemoglobin doesn't like very much, and then carbonic acid doesn't dissolve very much. Only 7%. Okay, so let's look at health issue. Okay, this is very K-BART stuff. Okay, it will be asked a lot in your exam, especially in the K-BART part. Okay, so what is COPD? Okay, all diseases related to lungs is called COPD, long-term disease. That's why it's called chronic obstructive pulmonary disease. You will see this a lot if you study A-levels. Okay, basically a whole damn chapter. Okay, we need to write essays with this. Okay, so this reminds me of some painful memories of A-levels. All right, so what is COPD? COPD is a class of disease. Okay, what does it mean by chronic? Okay, I want to talk about some bio words here. Chronic and acute. Okay, chronic means long term. Heart disease is chronic. Okay, acute is short term. 5 days you get it, like COVID-19. Okay, coronavirus is acute respiratory disease. Okay, that's why the official term is actually SARS and CoV. Okay, SARS stands for severe acute respiratory syndrome. Okay, the A stands for acute because it's very fast, few days, but chronic takes very long. Like diabetes is chronic. Okay, I would say the most deadly disease nowadays are all chronic. Cancer, okay, HIV, heart disease, lung disease, okay, all of them are chronic. Okay, so chronic, obstructive because it's obstructing, you cannot breathe well. Okay, of course any lungs disease you won't breathe well. Okay, that's why it's called COPD. Okay, so obstruction in the respiratory pathway, swelling or long-term coughing, inflammation of respiratory pathway, basically obstruction of flow into your lungs. Okay, you're choking yourself, slowly choking yourself. Okay, so primary cause of course is smoking. Okay, so you might say, a lot of students ask me this, sir, then vaping okay? This is up to you to decide. Vaping is a very new thing. It's not proven to be dangerous. It's also not proven to be not dangerous. Okay, what if you smoke 20 years down the road, then suddenly more reports saying that, you know what, this thing is even worse than smoking, then gone case lah. Okay, the best way is not to smoke. Okay, so not gonna teach you not to smoke. Okay, I'm sure you're all smart people. Okay, and exposed to polluted air. Okay, so estimated people living in Beijing, okay, they will have an increased 10% risk of cancer staying there because the air there over there is so dirty. Okay, so the pollution there is very serious. That's why it's the 10%. All right, so COPD is not gender specific, and the risk of COPD, point number 3, okay, increase with age. Okay, and then the most common symptoms: shortness of breath, of course, you're choking yourself. Okay, coughing and wheezing. Okay, and then lung failure, inflammation of the heart. Okay, COPD can affect your heart. Okay, imagine now you are choking, now you are smoking, you are choking your lungs not able to carry more oxygen, so your heart automatically needs to pump faster to supply oxygen to your body. So while developing COPD, you also develop heart disease. So good, isn't it? Okay, that's why I say smoking is like getting the whole package. You're spinning a roulette of diseases. See which one will die first lah. Okay, maybe you get lung cancer, maybe you get emphysema, maybe you get bronchitis, maybe you get enlarged heart chamber, maybe you get heart attack. Okay, that's the quickest way to go. Maybe you get stroke. So many. Okay, so that's why I wouldn't be scared of COVID-19. Okay, yeah, we are preventing it, okay, by doing all this. Okay, but the death rate in Malaysia is only at 1 point something percent. It's really low. Okay, it's really low. Obesity kills like millions of people COPD kills like millions of people per year. Go and look at the statistics. Okay, smoking kills millions per year. Okay, so I wouldn't worry about some pesky virus. Okay, come on. Okay, anyway, so example of COPD like asthma. Okay, this is mostly born. Okay, is congenital. Okay, you're born with it. Okay, acute bronchitis. Okay, so I thought this is chronic. Okay, so I would say bronchitis lah. Okay, emphysema. Okay, I would say if you get emphysema, you are very lucky because you didn't get lung cancer, which is way worse. Okay, so okay, let's look at what is asthma. Okay, asthma is a chronic inflammation of the airways. Okay, bronchus and bronchiole. Okay, it's a lifelong disease. Yeah, you can cure from it if you do more cardiovascular exercise, you make your lungs stronger. Okay, basically, if you go to the gym, you work your muscles, you're training your skeletal muscles. But you go onto the treadmill and run, you are training a more important muscle, which is your heart. Okay, and of course your lungs. Okay, so basically just do exercise. There's no exercise. You should do weight training to strengthen your skeletal muscle, and then you should do cardiovascular training, which is to strengthen your heart. Okay, do you know that if you exercise more, your chance of surviving a heart attack is higher if you are very fit? Okay, if let's say I'm very fit, I'm a marathon runner, I suffer a heart attack, I am more likely to survive because my heart is stronger. Okay, so what are the symptoms? Okay, cough, shortness of breath, wheezing. Okay, wheezing is like that. Okay, it's wheezing. Okay, so they are triggered by irritants and allergens. Okay, different people respond to different allergens. Okay, so irritants like what? Dust, smoke, chemicals, cold weather, and others. Allergens like mite, spore, pollens, and others. Okay, asthma is you're born with it. Okay, so during an asthma attack, the wall becomes swollen and inflamed. So you're choking yourself because the airway gets smaller. Okay, you're suffocating. Okay, so mucus excretion will increase, airway muscle will contract, okay, narrowing the lumen, and it will produce a wheezing sound. Okay, so you get hypoxemia. Okay, hypoxemia means less oxygen. Okay, and then it will injure your lungs. Okay, of course, basically this is a thinning of your. Okay, that's why this thing, the inhalant, is to dissolve your mucus and to enlarge your airway. Okay, so to prevent them from closing in, okay, the closing in might be due to weakness. You are born with a weak bronchus wall, so you exercise to strengthen it, it will not close, then you are okay for life. All right, so next, chronic bronchitis. Okay, when you see itis, it's swelling. Okay, dermatitis is swelling of your skin. Okay, what else? Gastritis is the swelling of your gastric, okay, which is a stomach, which is gastric lah. Okay, appendicitis is the swelling of your appendix, okay, and so on. Okay, so bronchitis is the swelling of your bronchus lah, or bronchial. Okay, so chronic bronchitis is mostly due to smoking. Okay, or bacterial infection. Okay, so cough again, whatever lung disease you cough lah. Okay, COVID-19 you also cough. Okay, so tight chest, difficulty breathing, wheezing, coughing is sputum, runny, blocked nose, sore throat, and lethargy. Okay, so basically it's the inflammation of your bronchus. Okay, so if you're a chronic smoker, you might get bronchitis. Okay, chronic bronchitis is very common. Of course, other infections, okay, will also cause bronchitis, but smoking being the most common one. Okay, so basically it's almost the same as asthma. Okay, narrows the lumen, difficulty in breathing. Okay, basically it's swelling, long-term swelling. This is acute swelling. Asthma is acute. Okay, acute swelling, but bronchitis is chronic swelling. Okay, so what is emphysema? Okay, emphysema is when you have bronchitis for so damn long, your lung is starting to die out as emphysema. Okay, I always say emphysema is like a miracle because you haven't get lung cancer and you get this. Okay, so basically it's a damage to alveoli. Okay, so now let's say you have bronchitis, your lung is full of mucus. Okay, because your body is trying to get rid of whatever rubbish is inside. So I would say most of your alveolus is like flooded with mucus. Okay, so bacteria loves mucus. So bacteria will grow inside your lung. So what does your white blood cell do? Your white blood cell will try to come in from your blood capillaries, come into your lungs and kill the bacteria. While doing so, it destroys your alveolus. Okay, so if you have emphysema, it's very simple. You go and do a CT scan, you can see your lungs, they are like clusters. Okay, you would know. Okay, at the end stage of emphysema, it can get so bad. Okay, I've seen documentaries that they talk about this. Okay, it got so bad that you can't even get down off the bed and walk because your alveolus is so low in number. Even lying down, you are suffocating. Okay, that's why I say it's a miracle. You haven't even get lung cancer, you get emphysema. Okay, that's why you don't hear this. You will always get lung cancer first. Okay, so emphysema, I wouldn't worry about it. Okay, so happens when the alveoli wall are damaged, collapse, combine with adjacent to form larger areas. Like I said, okay, the alveolus are broken down by white blood cells. Okay, difficulty in breathing. Okay, so cigarette smoke, dust, air pollutants. Okay, so what happens here? Damage to alveoli wall prevents gaseous exchange. Okay, reduce number of alveoli. Okay, form larger alveoli. Reduce total surface area. That's the main thing. Okay, alveoli will lose the elasticity. That's why smokers' lungs are black. Okay, difficulty in exhalation. Okay, damage to elastic fiber. Okay, what's the elastic fiber called? It's actually called collagen. This is a girl's best friend to make your skin young. Okay, so destroy the airway and then trap air into larger alveoli at the end. Okay, so I can never understand smokers. Okay, especially those who go to the gym. After finish gym, then they smoke. Why? Okay, so yeah, to each of their own, I guess. Okay, so that's it for chapter 8. Okay, I'm very long-winded, I know. Okay, bunch of stories to tell. Okay, let's jump into our exercise. Okay, I will not do all 23 pages. Okay, you will do some, and then I will do some. Okay, and then you check answer with mine. I'll post it online. Okay, so this is your tracheal system. Okay, it's not a ginger. I know it looks like one. Okay, so this is a spherical. Okay, so B is your trachea. F is your wait. Okay, I think trachea is here, the main one. Okay, and then this is like an air sac. Okay, so normally they won't ask here. Okay, they will ask trachea, and then this is your tracheal. Wait, why is F and C pointing to the same thing? Oh, I think F is pointing to the ring. Okay, this is the chitin ring. Okay, so this is your trachea, and then this is your tracheal. Okay, E is your air sac. Okay, so why do they have one more air sac? This is like a reserve for very active animal insects like grasshopper. Okay, so name is a respiratory system. This is a tracheal system. Okay, explain the function of structure label B and F respectively. So B is a reservoir of air. Okay, so what is F? F is to prevent the collapse, okay, of C. Okay, and then D contains fluid. What is D? D contains fluid. Explain how the fluid helps in gaseous exchange. Okay, so D contains fluid. Okay, you can say it bathes the body cells. Okay, bathes the body cells. Okay, or you can say dissolve gases. Okay, when gas is dissolved, it's easier to exchange. That's why all the surface are moist. Moist is the number one of the important adaptation for all breathing system. Okay, explain how air moves between A and C in organism X. Okay, between A and C. Explain how air moves between A and C. Okay, I think this is due to breathing the breathing mechanism. Okay, so you can say pressure. Okay, pressure and not sure what you want to say. Okay, you can say pressure at C is lower than A. Okay, so air moves from A. Is it A? Yeah, from A to C. Okay, I know some questions, they're very misleading. Okay, because sometimes when we set questions, the question is not that complete. Okay, but in exam you won't have to worry about this. Normally the questions are a bit clearer. Okay, because we are trying to produce a lot of exercise at once. Okay, so even sometimes I don't know what the questions refers to. Okay, but no worries. Okay, no worries. Okay, diagram 4.2 shows some tracheal that carry air to a muscle fiber in an insect. Okay, so this is the muscle. So draw arrows to show the pathway of gaseous exchange. Okay, so you can draw one going in and then one going out. Okay, so stage 3 adaptation, so easy. Okay, large surface area. Okay, and then what else? Moist. Okay, thin. Okay, no blood capillaries because there's no blood here. Okay, describe one way in which the transport of oxygen to a muscle is different from that in a fish. Okay, so for insect, you can say there is no blood or oxygen diffuse directly, right, into body cells. Okay, whereas fish has blood. Okay, you can finish the sentence. So H, explain how structure of gas exchange of an insect ensure there is large surface area for gaseous exchange. So how do they make sure they have large surface area? So you can say the you can say large number of tracheal, okay, large number of tracheal, okay, and air sac. Okay, what causes the diffusion of oxygen from X into muscle fiber? Okay, very good question. You can say oxygen, okay, partial pressure of oxygen. Please don't say concentration, okay, partial pressure of oxygen in muscle is lower than X. Okay, then you can say down concentration gradient. Okay, so this is your chapter 3 stuff. Alright, so this is a grasshopper. Predict what will happen if thorax and abdomen is immersed in water. Okay, thorax and abdomen. So grasshopper, okay, will not be able to breathe. Please don't say die. Okay, so explain a prediction. You can say spherical. Okay, spiracles are located, okay, along the thorax, okay, and abdomen. Okay, so if it's diffused in if they are immersed in water, okay, so oxygen, okay, cannot enter, okay, oxygen cannot enter, so cannot travel into insects, okay, and diffuse into body cells. Okay, of something like that. Okay, so 3 marks here. Okay, so respiratory system of fish, okay, gills. Explain how the structure of gills make oxygen uptake efficient. Okay, structure of gills, you can say large surface area, okay, large number of lamella, okay, to increase surface area. You can say surrounded by blood capillaries. Okay, describe what happened to a fish. Oh, it has some. What happens to a fish when water enters through its mouth? Okay, when it enters, so basically inhalation lah. Okay, so you can say operculum close, okay, buccal floor lowers, okay, mouth opens. Okay, where does gaseous exchange occur in organism? Why? Okay, you can say the lamella. How does gaseous exchange occur in Y? Okay, so you can say oxygen in water diffuse into lamella. Okay, carbon dioxide in lamella diffuse into water. Okay, 2 marks here, don't have to say so much. Fish cannot survive without water. Explain why. Okay, so you can say gills can only obtain oxygen dissolved in water. Okay, so without oxygen, so you can say respiration, cellular respiration cannot take place. Okay, seems like a K-Bar question, but it really isn't. Okay, so just answer what you know. Okay, so fish again. Not going to talk about fish. Let's talk about amphibians. Okay, so this is the nostril. Okay, this is the buccal-pharyngeal cavity. Okay, long name. This is the skin. This is the glottis. Okay, so explain inhalation, how it's pumped into the lung. Okay, they want the second step. Oh wait, oh, they want the whole thing. Okay, so 3 marks for each lah. Okay, we talk about the first step. First, absorb to suck into the buccal-pharyngeal cavity first. Okay, so nostril opens. Okay, this is inhalation. Inhalation into mouth. Okay, nostril opens, glottis closes. Okay, and then I just say floor lah. Okay, the floor lowers. Okay, so air forced in to mouth. Okay, and then into lungs. Okay, nostril closes. Okay, glottis opens. Okay, floor raised, air forced into lungs. Okay, so 6 marks here. So trapped in a wooden box, what will happen to the frog after a week? Okay, discuss. You can say the frog will die. Okay, the frog will die. Okay, or you can say suffocate. Okay, why? You can say oxygen in the wood is used up. Okay, so no cellular respiration. Okay, 1 week, that's a long time. Okay, although frog is not very active, but still 1 week is still a very long time. Okay, so diagram 2 shows exchange of respiratory gases P and Q between this is human already. So what is P? Okay, P is CO2. Okay, Q is oxygen. What can you deduce about concentration of gas P and Q in blood vessel X? Okay, so what is blood vessel X is here. So this is deoxygenated blood. So P is high, Q is low. Give one reason. Okay, it contains deoxygenated blood. Okay, why do the body needs to get rid of gas P? Explain one reason. Okay, so gas P is the waste product of cellular respiration. Okay, so you can say to prevent accumulation, okay, which you can even say which reduces pH value of blood. Okay, carbon dioxide is slightly acidic. Okay, that's why it's dangerous for us. Suggest 2 ways P can be removed from the bloodstream. 2 ways to remove from bloodstream. Oh, okay, you can use hemoglobin. Oh wait, from bloodstream, not into bloodstream. Remove from bloodstream, you can say, okay, release by hemoglobin or converted from carbonic acid, okay, to CO2 and water. Okay, C, concentration of Q in Y is usually low. In smoker, it's usually lower than non-smoker. Explain why. Okay, that's a very good question. Okay, because hemoglobin of smoker, okay, not yet, hang on. Okay, because cigarette smoke, okay, contains carbon monoxide. Okay, carbon monoxide binds to hemoglobin, okay, to form stable compound. Okay, this is in your form 3. So less hemoglobin available to carry oxygen molecule. Okay, that's why heart needs to pump faster when you smoke, because you have lower oxygen in your blood. Key form consequence to health when gas Q is less in blood for smoker. You can say, like I said just now, higher breathing rate, okay, or heart rate, okay. So, or even heart pressure is accepted, okay, because I need to pump faster, of course the pressure is higher. Okay, so respiratory center in human brain. Okay, explain when partial pressure of carbon dioxide increase during vigorous activity. Okay, so during, when carbon dioxide in your blood increases, okay, you can say carbonic acid concentration or hydrogen bicarbonate, okay, increases, okay, detected by brain. So brain increases breathing rate. Okay, to help eliminate carbon dioxide. Okay, so when your blood pH drop, that's a signal sending to your brain telling that you need to breathe faster. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this. This is in Form 3. Refer back to your Form 3. Okay, this is even Form 3. Okay, Form 3 stuff, not going to talk about this. Okay, so how does gaseous exchange occur? Okay, you're not going to talk about this also. You have already done this. Okay, let's choose. This is also in your Form 3, I guess. Okay, so can you see oxygen in air is 21, around 21. When it exhale is, okay, 5% less, and then CO2 is again 4%. Okay, so roughly the same. Okay, so suggest one explanation for the difference between percentage. Okay, why is CO2 increase? Okay, due to cellular respiration. Okay, it's a byproduct, or it's a product of cellular respiration. Okay, so resuscitation. This is a very good question actually. Resuscitation is often given when a person fails to breathe but still has a heartbeat. Okay, explain how exhaling mouth into the person helps her to breathe again. Okay, so you can say exhaled air contains more oxygen, okay, than air in the person's lungs. Okay, so I know when I breathe I only have 16%, but the person has actually less because the heart is working but the lungs is not. Okay, so higher oxygen content, okay, is able to diffuse, okay, into blood vessels, okay, or blood capillaries. Okay, you can explain the whole thing. Okay, the video is getting super long. Okay, so I think I'm gonna stop here. You can finish this yourself. Okay, very simple chapter, that's why I want to finish this in one class. Okay, so next week I believe we can go into chapter 9. Okay, so thank you for listening, thank you for paying attention. I hope you learned something. Okay, we still have 4 more classes to go. Oh my god. Okay, so stay updated, stay in my class. Okay, I will see you again next week. Ciao.